Hello, Professor.
Howdy, howdy.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Thank you. Yes. Today has definitely been a relaxing but also busy day.
Yeah, I know. How
So,
about UK birthday? UK's birthday?
well, that cake in the photo on Facebook is from last year.
Oh, yeah. It's a last year.
So the new one is going to be tonight.
Oh.
I'm going to find out what she is making for me, but I know that I smell chocolate.
It's good.
So I can say that for sure.
Mm, good. Enjoy.
So we're having some fun here. You guys gave me some homework, which I'm actually still working on. And did you guys get to write about yourselves?
No, yeah.
Not to
I,
worry, not to worry.
I,
Hey,
I
Luz,
couldn't
how are
write.
you?
Hi, how are
You keep
you?
joining us. And Fabricio, thank you.
Hello,
So what did you
how
guys
are you?
do all this past week? I know Luz was studying English.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, today was nice because the first thing I did was I just relaxed. I did not have an alarm. Wake up when I'm ready. You know,
Yeah,
I didn't eat too much for breakfast today. I was like, ooh, my mind was busy already. But I did go and I found some old photos.
yeah,
I haven't seen these photos for a while because they were all in boxes and they were all just on a shelf when I moved. I didn't even look at them. Maybe I haven't seen some of these photos for more than 5 years. So that was fun. So I thank you, Fabrizio, for suggesting that I
yeah. Okay, it's my pleasure.
go
I,
into my
yeah,
history.
yeah. I do my own. I did my own work.
You did. All right.
But the last the last week I don't understand. You took the own work. Maybe can you the next time you write the own work for us.
Sure. Well, that was a last minute decision. I found it when I was looking through my writings, and then I remembered it, and I said, "Oh my gosh, we could use that." Because it had the good vocabulary for you guys. So we have, I see Kelly is on. She's not showing. Kelly is a friend joining us. Kelly came to Arrieta when I was teaching there. I got Sherilyn here. And my sister Christine is on.
Hello.
Mm.
Happy
Hi,
birthday.
Christine.
Hello.
Hi, to meet
Yeah, I'm from California,
Oh,
you.
or in California. I'm from New Jersey.
Yeah, that's true. You were born in Princeton. No, you were born in Tarrytown. You're a New York baby.
I grew up in New Jersey. Okay, for what that's worth, but it's definitely a valuable upbringing.
All good.
Yeah, it's freezing here.
It's freezing in California. You want
Yeah,
to tell them how cold it is for you?
yeah, it's about 40 degrees or something.
Well, actually, that sounds a little warm for us, but it's been lower than in the 20s. Hey, Grace, I see you joining us. Wow, wow, wow. We got so you guys are going to practice English and get to get some idea about who I am. And Fabrizio, we're going to also ask you. But everybody here, uh, they either know me for some special reason, or if they've forgotten when we first met, that's fine too. But maybe you have a funny story, something we did together. And
Looks
This
like
is-
Bryce is here too.
Bryce is here as well. We're waiting for him to come on his picture. But this isn't a chance for you guys to embarrass me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell all the stories about me that I have forgotten.
We can.
Sure,
Well,
sure.
where'd you get such a beautiful wife?
Oh, thank you,
Well.
thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we actually met indirectly at drum and dance circles. And at the time, we would just kind of see each other and say hello. You know, we pass around the circle. She was mostly dancing and I was mostly drumming. But I saw that she also drummed and I even took more notice. And then we started talking and talking more. And then one day, 3 years ago in November, into December, I was sick. I was sick for like 2 weeks and she started texting me. And we struck up our conversation by text and we built our romance. And then we changed to Facebook. We did the camera, the video live.
We did phone first.
So yeah,
We
so
actually talked on the phone.
then we started talking and I did not know that she reads lips. So when she was seeing me, I did not know she was hard of hearing. I knew nothing about that for 4 years.
Well, that's because there's drumming all the time, so you can't hear anything.
This
So,
is true. Everybody's always making music. So she smiled a lot. She has a beautiful smile. So we have some more people here. I see Bryce is here. He's listening in casually. Maybe he'll unmute. Beth is here. Hey, Beth.
Hi, happy birthday.
So each of you guys know me for different reasons. I'm going to start us off and then I'll let you guys each tell a little story or whatnot. Actually, while we still have more people coming in, I don't want to mess up the screen share, although I guess I can hear them. So one of the things that's different for me, and I know for you guys, is we are using Zoom, which is something we're sort of used to, whether we like it or not, I guess. we could say that. All right, so let's jump up here. I didn't get a lot of photos, but if I find them, I will bring them in. So a few years ago, somebody asked me to come up with things about who I am, something about me, my personality, that most people don't know. And so then I offered it to other people and they got to say who they are. And I thought that was really cool because these are things, unless you know me for a long time, have known me, you might not know it. So the first one is my middle name. I am Eugene. I rarely use it. In fact, I don't use David. I just use Dave. But Eugene was the name given to me because my father was born an identical twin. And the twin died when the twin was only 3 days old. So I was gifted his name. And so I carry the family tradition. Those of you who drum probably know that I am left-handed. My mom is left-handed, so it seems to be in the family. We're also writers and editors and musicians and teachers, so we're using that creative part of our brain, which is kind of cool. And then I'll do one more, and then I'm gonna like to listen to you guys. So gardening, how many people out there with a raise of hands knew I like gardening? Got a couple of you out there. So it really started, I'm not going to read all this, but it really started when I was a kid. My dad decided to plant some cucumbers where an old swimming pool was. And we had a bumper crop and I ended up selling them at age 9. I was going around with my wagon selling cucumbers 3 for a quarter. And I was addicted. I was hooked.
Yeah, I remember that too. And we had cucumber sandwiches like almost every day. I loved them. And tomato sandwiches.
And tomato sandwiches, yep. Chris, you might remember me building a greenhouse in the backyard.
Yeah, and the super large tomato that Emily or Lucy at the time was holding in her hand, next to a miniature shovel that looked like it was humongous. When
Oh,
you
that's
photo-
funny. You have a memory of something I've forgotten about. We took old windows. We had friends that were replacing all the windows in their house, and we took all their old ones with the wood frame back before the vinyl. And I connected all of them and made a greenhouse in the backyard. And yeah, that allowed me to grow. And then I went on to work on a farm, worked on a farm stand, sold landscape materials, made baskets, ice cream we sold. It was crazy. So I'm gonna stop the share. Some of you guys, hey Michelle, hey Dave. All right, Dave. Actually, I'm gonna start with Michelle because she told me a funny story that I had completely forgotten.
Oh, you got to remember that.
Well, I'd forgotten about it and certainly wasn't sharing it, but go ahead, embarrass me. You're first.
Okay, so hi everyone, I'm Michelle and this is my dad, Dave. And my dad, Dave, and Dave Miller have been friends for decades, ever since I was a little girl. Dave has been coming over and spending time with our family. So because of that, when it was time for my aunt and uncle to get married in the Philippines in 1998, Dave Miller came and joined us in the Philippines for that wedding. And we went to the city where my mom is from in the Philippines, which is in Ozamis City, which is in Mindanao. And they speak a language called Visayan in Ozamis. But they also speak English because English is the national language of the Philippines. So they, so because we were there for a wedding, there were a lot of parties. And my dad and Dave, being really good friends, after one of those parties ended, they kept talking. They were talking, maybe they were a little bit drunk. They probably had a couple of beers or something at dinner.
Medicinal, strictly medicinal.
And it was raining and everyone rushed home. And so all of a sudden they look around and they're like, where is everyone? And they can't find anyone. And they're standing out in the street. And along comes a man named Johnny. And Johnny has been a very, very good friend of ours for decades. Maybe he's been a friend of the family maybe longer than I've been alive. But the thing about Johnny is he cannot see. He is blind. So as a blind person, Johnny knows the map of the city in his brain, inside and out. Every step, he knows every single step down the street, how many steps it is. And he knows exactly where he is in any given moment. Johnny was walking down the street. He heard my dad and Dave Miller laughing and talking. He was like, Dave?
Dave number one, Dave number two.
Right.
He was like, Dave? And then they were like, hey, Johnny. And they were like, we're a little lost. We don't know how to get home.
You know where we are.
Do you know where we are?
The blind man, of course.
And the blind man was like, yeah, go left over here, take a right over there, go to the end of the street. And so that was a blind man leading the blind.
He led us.
Or the drunk.
He walked with us and we'd come to an intersection and I thought we were going to go straight. And he said, Dave, you have to turn left here. I looked at him, what? And so it was amazing. He wasn't even born in the city. I asked him, how long did it take you to memorize every step in your brain? He said 5 years.
Oh, wow.
To memorize. Yeah, Los Angeles isn't a big city, but it's maybe the size of New Brunswick, let's say, something like that, which is reasonable size. And he had it all memorized every step. So it was amazing. But when Dave and I showed up with the blind guy leading us, everybody cracked up laughing, of course. So we've never lived that story down.
Well, we speak of the Philippines. I have another friend here who is from the Philippines,
Mhm.
and we met at a party. Grace is waving. She
Yes,
knows they know
Grace.
each other.
Wow, long time.
And Grace, after knowing me for a few hours at a party, I told her I was going to go to Provincetown for a vacation. And she said, "Can I go?" So, Grace, how much do you remember of that? Oh, you got to unmute. We're putting her on the spot.
Oh, I remember that a lot, you know. But before you ask me that question, I remember you telling me, "Hi, Michelle. Hi, Dave. When you came back, you told me I knew that that trip to the Philippines was very impactful for you, because you even said, gosh, I really know that the Filipinos don't mind to be crowded. They don't
Yeah.
mind to be in one place, even if you and we really have a joke with that, right, Michelle and Dave, if you remember, that the Filipinos can fit in one mat. You know, you just said how many people can fit in one mat. There's maybe many, over almost 100 people can fit sleeping, because we could sleep standing up. Yeah, so that's the, I know that was so significant for Dave. He really appreciated that trip. So, and good to see you guys. Oh yeah, Dave, I remember that. Yeah. But before that, let me embarrass you. Just before I went with you to Cape Cod, because it was summertime, I was invited to a party by another friend, and Dave was in that party near his house in Somerville. Somerville?
Somerset.
Somerset. And then Dave comes and whispered to me. He said, Grace, did you take ganja? And I said, I didn't know what that is. All I know is if I don't understand the word, I say, no, I don't, so when he asked me if I take something, I said, no. Then what you said, what Dave was telling, oh, I didn't know that. Then my friend came to me and he said, Grace, do you know what he asked you? And I said, no, he just asked you if you're using this. Then I said, okay, I'm glad I answered no. He says, exactly, because you are not, you don't use that. So no, that was it. But nevertheless, it was a good conversation that we continued to talk. And then, I'm adventurous. And Dave said, oh, have you been to Cape Cod? I said, yeah, I've been there, but I don't mind going there again. So there we go. And we had so much fun. I met his friends from, the new friends, old friends of him and new friends for me. And I was always with two guys, and I'm in the only woman, and we all join, have fun in different clubs. I think we went to 2 clubs.
We had fun because we went to the gay clubs and nobody cared. And it was hysterical because there were like really cool cars driving down the main street, and they're handing out condoms to everybody. I was like, that was my
they
first
were giving
experience.
condoms. We were taking all the condoms. We never used it, but we were taking it. Yeah. Then we went to the beach the following day. We walk, and so ever since that time, I know I can trust Dave, and he knows he can trust me. I behaved very well. I didn't take advantage of him.
There were 3 in a bed, and nobody said. Bryce, I don't know if you want to put your camera on, but if you want to say hello. He's, I think, listening in the background there. Bryce is a
what do I have to do? My camera.
Find your camera. Somewhere in there will be
What do I do to put the camera on?
Well, let's see. I don't know how to tell you to look for the camera. Might be in the bottom left-hand corner, might be a little picture.
Well, I see the mute button.
Well, just leave it on. We'll listen to you.
There's a start video button.
Oh, Kelly is saying,
That's it.
yeah, 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 start video. Kelly has to do the same thing, start video. And it'll take a second and then it'll come on.
Request that they start their video on the participants.
Um,
The participant
That's over here.
request.
Let's see, we
Yeah.
could do,
Yeah.
there we go, we got more on. Hey, David,
Share screen, share screen.
there's Bryce. All right. So we're getting other people. So Bryce, how about your stories? How did you first know me? Or some embarrassing story?
Well, I've known you for a long time. Oh God, I don't know. The thing that comes to mind is you, mother and you had kitty cats that your life and your mother's life was a testament to me why I never let my kitty cat out of the house, because both your mother and you had a kitty cat that was hit by a car out on the road, and it's not a funny story, but it's one of the things that comes to mind. I mean, it was just really tragic happening, but I think Christine probably has the best funny stories. I'm sure Chris has a funny story for you, about you.
I'm sure Christine has a lot of stories.
Can you see me? I mean, am I still blocked out?
See you. We see your, well, we were seeing your mustache for a second. There you go. There we go. Sule, I don't know if you want to come on. You were in my
Oh yeah, I got this.
Movie
All
star,
right, let's see, who
star
else?
look going on.
Somebody else is trying to come in, and I got to figure out how to find them. Hold
I
on.
just want to say hi. I gotta go. I have
Oh, there
a
I am.
lesson
All right.
at so I gotta get them in for that thing. I just want to say hi. Happy birthday.
All right, Sule.
All right. Thanks.
Well,
for
thank
inviting
you.
me.
Thank you for believing in me many years ago and coming in my backyard, and we all
That
drummed
was a
to
lot
you.
of fun. That was a lot of fun.
Many fire circles in Somerset.
Yes.
I
All
remember,
right. All the
David.
best, but I gotta get ready for. I gotta do something in like 8 minutes. Okay.
All right, Sule. Hey, Kelly.
Thanks.
Hey,
Bye-bye.
Dave. I don't know. I apologize. I'm not sure what's going on with my video, but of course I wanted to say happy birthday. And I can't tell you how many times in talking to other people how much we say we miss you and how much we miss Cheryl and just being around your wonderful energy. But I'll share two stories, in honor of you. And of course, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
So of course, the first one is how we first met through Mark Wood through a drum circle. And I will say this, it was, I think of it often because it was at a time of my life when I was really struggling and going through some stuff. And I know I looked to you for guidance through a lot of journeys that I was taking. And you said to me one time, you are on this wonderful, I was so nervous about doing something and scared and all my issues. And you said, you are on this wonderful journey. It's wonderful to see. It's wonderful to see you going through this transformation. It's just fantastic. And that meant so much to me because it got rid of the fears and the inhibition, and it felt like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I shouldn't be afraid. This is what I need to this transformation in my life. And Dave, you gave me that energy and that feeling of this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I thank you for that. I will tell a funny story about where I was so honored when you asked me to come speak to your English as second language class. And I'm thinking to myself, I went and I told my friend Elizabeth, Dave realizes how intelligent I am. He wants me to come speak to the class because I'm so smart, and I made up these brochures and I drew pictures. I was going to talk about Long Island, and I brought cakes and everything else. And I start talking to the class, and Dave's like, let me stop you. Did you hear the way she said that? And they were like, yeah. And he goes, that's because she's from New York, but she's lived in New Jersey for over 20 years. So the whole reason Dave really wanted me is because of my unique New York, New Jersey accent. And he wanted him to hear what not to say or how to understand the slang. And it was just wonderful and interesting. And it felt really great to be a part of that as well. But I always thought that was a funny story as well. But I cannot wait till we can be around you two again and your energy and circles and everything, because you're truly missed home this whole pandemic.
Many of you we haven't seen since our wedding just over a year ago.
Yes.
Your birthday.
On the birthday 1 year ago, yeah.
Well, our that was the dual birthday, right? Where we celebrated the
Your birthday and
yours and Raina.
Irina was there, yep. And you guys, we lost somebody this year. We lost Barry.
Oh.
Barry Holmes came and played. He was a fine blues player and he passed away at home.
Yes.
This summer. That was Jerry, you have any stories?
I don't think I have any stories. I can only tell the one about how I met you, and I don't really know why I was at your house. That was a long time ago in Somerset, and I don't really know why I was there. I have no idea. I just know there was drumming there, and it was in the backyard, and I have just a vague memory of it. I don't know who brought me there. I don't know why I was there. But then eventually, within a year or two, I ended up at the Kindred Spirit Festival. And with my group that I was in, a spiritual group called Azure, and we had a booth there. So we were there for a couple days. And I remember my kids were there too, and they were running all around the festival. And it was a very well-known festival. And then when it went away, we were like, oh, where is it? And then lo and behold, I meet you again after 20 years, and we have Touch Mother now. So
wow.
That's my story. And interestingly enough, I think I met my partner around the time that you met Cheryl, and then we both moved in together in the same month, and been together ever since. So it's kind of like a little parallel lives, but it's a fantastic story, and we really miss getting together a lot, but it'll happen again. I know.
We call it the quarantine bliss.
Oh, and that place in Somerset is the one with the beautiful garden in front.
Right. Had all that. All right, so we're gonna jump here. People can add, but let's see what else we got here. All right, so at 9:50 tonight will be my actual birthday. I was a big baby. I was 9.5 pounds, and my mom was in labor for 26 hours. Poor mom. A lot of people know me about music, but you don't necessarily know that I like jazz or that I have been to the Saratoga Jazz Festival 26 times and got to see all the greats. Ray Charles, who's no longer around, Miles Davis. I got to interview Dizzy Gillespie, Tito Puente, Grover Washington. All of these guys have passed. James Brown. Herbie's still with us. Dave Brubeck is, although he's getting up there in years. I was on a radio show. I worked on the radio for 6 years, and that's where I got to do a lot of the jazz. We're gonna jump. Let's see here.
Yeah, that was your yearly event. You usually go there to Rhode Island, right?
Saratoga.
Saratoga.
So yeah, they have one in Long Island. We go to Saratoga Springs.
And we used to go with you, Dave. Remember, I think we were there. We saw Ray Charles with you.
That was a great year.
Aretha Franklin.
I think we also saw Aretha Franklin with you.
Yeah.
Lots of great memories during childhood.
Remember, she brought her son out. I think Aretha brought her. I think it was her son she brought out.
Yes. Oh, that was a weird year because her son came out and did rap, and we admired the first song. That's and we were okay with the second song, and then he went into the third song. And we started saying, this is too much. This is jazz.
Didn't go over too well, yeah.
No. Now, we have a couple people who just entered, and some of them being silent. I see Isabel.
Hey, feliz cumpleaños, amigo.
Gracias por todo. So, Isabel, you and I also met at Mount Eden at the Kindred Spirit Fair.
Oh, yes. Yeah, how many years? That like 20?
Probably more. We could tell our age. I would say closer to 30.
30, right. Wow, time flies.
I also see that a old roommate, Bhupinder, has joined us. Bhupi, how are you?
Hey, Mr. Miller.
Yeah, I found you on Facebook, and now we finally connect. You're looking good.
I guess it was fall of 1989, something like that.
Yeah.
It's when Somerset 40 Hollywood Avenue or something like that what was the address?
Around 88, 89, I had just divorced and was starting an apartment, and he moved in.
Yeah, it was fall of 89. That's right.
We had a lot of fun because we had a cooperative household, and we shared turns doing the cooking. And my memory of Boopy is he had a Walkman with a cassette recorder in a cassette, and he had his little headphones, and his mom would tell him his recipes. Is that right? Good memory?
You got a good memory. It's
Boopy, you got to start the dog.
It was when I was leaving India. I had to record all the recipes, and it came with guidance on make sure you don't cut your finger. Be careful with the hot oil. Yeah.
That was a wonderful household. We really learned a lot as a cooperative. Everybody having a turn, and we had a roommate from Japan.
Yeah, Yukata or Yutaka, I think. Yutaka.
And then we had pure vegan. We had a good crowd. That was fun.
Margot, yeah, it was. I haven't seen you for a long time, but congratulations on your.
I'm still drumming.
Yeah, that's great. And you still have all your record albums from your DJing days at Rutgers?
Yes, I do. Actually, I'm going to bring up a picture. You know what? We'll do that while we're. How do I guide? I got to go to here. Got to remove that. All right. Are you able to see this?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So here's a photo of my dad that I found. He used to take me in the ocean, and he would carry me and go out further into the waves and jump up and down. And I learned to love water as a result. Oh, this one's upside down. Sorry, guys. But these are bicycles that we had for parade. And there's another one sideways. I didn't get a chance to go through these. We collected bikes. My friend Rick was going to be here, but his dad just passed away over the weekend. These are all my tickets. I go on and on to concerts. Chicago was my first. I ran a stereo business in college, sold cassettes and stereos. There we were. And I had a bike business when I was a kid, DNR Bikes. Sorry, they're all sideways. We didn't find the record albums. I know where the record albums is.
So I have a story.
Oh, all right. Cheryl has a story for us.
So you asked before.
Yeah, you're on.
Wait.
She doesn't see herself. She doesn't realize she's on.
There we go. Okay. So you asked before how we met and how we started, but I have a story from 5 years before that when we actually met. And I was kind of new for drumming. It was actually my second time starting drumming from 20 years before. And Dave was giving a drum class, and he was giving it at Mount Eden. And so I went to his drum class. That would be now 7 years ago. I went to his drum class in Mount Eden. And he taught the class, and then we took a break because he was still going to do a drum circle that night at like 6:30. So we broke around 5. And we started walking down the trails in Mount Eden, and he grabbed my hand, and we walked for about a mile or something like that, holding hands, talking. He was picking my brains of how we could do a festival at Mount Eden, because I'm a promoter and he's a promoter. We're both producers, basically. And then he never called and asked me out. I figured he would ask me out because he walked with me for a mile about how we would start this festival and stuff. And then and then I started doing some, I'm an entrepreneur, so I started a cat cafe and some other things. So I got busy and he got busy. So we kind of just brushed then afterwards for 5 years until we connected. But that was kind of like the thing that our energy and our chemistry kind of was set that 7 years ago. We had to wait till we were both ready for
Yeah.
this type of relationship. So we weren't ready, but
We were dating other people to get rid of them.
yeah, get them off our list.
Oh, no, yeah. All right. I'm good now. Let's welcome Joyce. Joyce, I'm glad got word. Oh, she's muted. I'll have to see if she wants to unmute.
I can unmute. How's that?
There you go. Now you go.
I'm so glad that Beth informed me, and it's another birthday. And happy birthday. You're doing very well, you guys. I'm surprised you're around. I thought you'd be in Florida, but you're here for the winter?
We are going to Florida. We did decide we're going, if for no other reason, then we really need to go once a year to make sure the property's in good shape. Also, we believe we have a package that was delivered that is still waiting for us inside.
That's a good reason.
That's kind of interesting. And it snowed this morning. It was cute, a little bit of snow. I was like, ooh, that's cute. It'll be gone by tonight, right?
How about being outside? That's great.
I would like to be able to go and walk outside.
I don't blame
Take
you.
photos and
Drum outside, walk outside.
Especially now when you can't leave the house, you know, you can go outside and the weather's good. That's wonderful.
right.
Oh, good. I hope you have a wonderful time there.
I did tell her though, I have to get back in time to start my garden this year. We got back late because of the coronavirus. It was June, the middle of June, and you don't plant tomatoes in June. So
We're planning to be back by April. So we can drum again outside.
Or you can plant them. Well, you'll go back by June anyway. It gets too hot in Florida after March anyway. It gets sticky.
So Fabrizio, you are getting to know from some of these people. Do you see anything in common or anything about them that are similar? A couple of them speak Spanish, a couple of them the Philippines, right? Oh, you got to unmute. He's laughing, but
You have to unmute.
Fabrizio,
¿Dónde está?
¿dónde está? Right.
¿Dónde está?
He's going to see it on the screen. There we go. Now he sees it. And he's my student.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, I see now. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, guys. I don't speak English very well. I don't speak Spanish. And for me, I try, but it's hard follow you. Okay. Dave.
Yeah.
I don't understand nothing.
No, well, so you're getting to hear all these different stories. Is there anything that surprised you?
No, the problem is I don't understand very well the story. And I prefer only listen.
Okay. All right, but that's good for you.
Sorry, guys.
The one thing that's good is you can always ask questions, and each person has a different accent or different vocabulary. So this is good practice as well.
But so sorry, but I don't understand. The story is about the people and you connected with you. Okay.
Yeah, the connection we have.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
Or if I did something silly, then they remember it.
Okay, I try a short sentence. Okay, my connection with Dave is the English class. Okay. and I meet Dave maybe in October. I don't remember when was October. Okay.
We met in September, yes.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. Dave is a great teacher. The problem is I is bad student.
No.
Maybe one time I resolve this problem, and I don't more young, and my mind have more problem for learn.
So one thing that's really cool having Fabrizio as a student, he was already an intermediate, you know, he was already beginning conversation level, but he doesn't speak Spanish like he said. And in some ways it reminded me of when I was in the Philippines, because I would hear sigue and I'd be like, oh, they speak Spanish. Oh, they don't speak Spanish. It's a Spanish word. So, and so I would want to speak Spanish and I can't use it, but we have learned that the more complicated the word, the more syllables the word, there's a good chance it's got a Latin root, and almost all the big verbs in Spanish and Italian are either identical or just change the pronunciation a little.
But I understand the Spanish language. For me, it's easy because derived from the Latin, same. But maybe for understand is good, but I don't talk Spanish.
But maybe you could travel.
Yeah.
One day when this is all over.
Yeah, I don't know.
When I was in Italy, I spoke Spanish with an Italian accent, and they understood.
Yeah. And my wife is the Spanish teacher, but
oh, I did not know that. Wow.
Yeah, but she talked with me in Italian.
Okay. Does she speak Italian, English, and?
She is Italian Spanish teacher.
Oh wow, beautiful. I see Rick has entered the room.
Sorry?
Oh, I was just saying hello. Another friend.
Okay, another friend.
Well, you know what? While we're doing this, let's just jump back here for a moment. All right. So I talked about water, my dad taking me into the ocean. I was glad I found a photo of that. The other thing that I have done a lot, and a lot of people don't know about this, is tank flotation.
What's that?
So there is a huge tank. Imagine a bathtub bigger than you would ever normally use. And it's temperature controlled. And they turn off the light, they close the door, you hear nothing, you don't see anything, you just float. It's pure salt water, and you relax. And I have done hundreds of hours in the tank, about 150 hours total.
And Dave took me there my first Valentine's Day. We both did a flotation. And it is an interesting story because when we got back, we would decompress, literally decompressing, and we got sick for a week. It was we were dating like 3 months, and here we were a whole week together, quarantined. Basically, it was kind of quarantine practice because we got so sick on each other's germs that first 3 months. And we realized when we did that after a week, we looked at each other and said, we could live together. We did this. Everything was like really smooth, even though we were so sick.
We were
barely
sick.
Got out of bed.
Misery loves company, as they say, right?
But we realized that how compatible we were from doing that. It was really a good lesson for us.
So one thing I have collected, everybody has different collections. I happen to like cobalt blue. And when I met Cheryl, I found that she also liked cobalt blue. A lot of you who came either to the wedding or to the birthday got to see a shelf in our living room where we now display the blue. Paul McCartney.
Yes, you look like him. I think of it all the time.
Ah, so you are one of them.
The same baby face, yes.
There's something in the jaw, and not all photos look the same, certain angle. But my favorite story is on a New Year's, I was going in an elevator with my then wife, and we got in the elevator, and there was another young couple already in there, and the lady just started, her eyes dropped, and she thought I was Paul McCartney. And she's hitting on her boyfriend going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I'm sitting here just cracking up because I didn't have the heart to break it, for her, but that was pretty funny. I should have signed some kind of napkin or something, see if you remember. Rick and I go back. Speaking of things we used to do together, we went to the Englishtown flea market.
That's true. We used to. That's my love of flea marketing still goes.
So Rick and I collect coins, and we have albums. What's your album collection up to these days? Do you know?
Oh, it's been whittled down. I think I only have about 3,000 left.
And I have 1,200. Yeah. So do you have any Kevin Park stories to embarrass me? He and I grew up together, so he's probably known the earlier stories if he remembers them.
I don't know. Too early. I don't know what.
I know one.
I mean, I have a lot of memories. Do they know about the station wagon with the green box on top?
Ah, that they don't. They kind of saw part of the picture. You want to explain what we actually did with that? Oh my God.
We used to ride in it, right?
Yeah, we used to ride in it.
But we used to collect junk. That was junk day, right? That was.
My dad built a huge box so that we could originally put all our luggage when we go on the family vacation. We had 4 kids in a station wagon. Everything had to go up. But we used that, and that was the car that was given to me, and I was able to drive it with Rick. And yeah, we collected bicycles. People would throw them away. We went to Englishtown to sell. But one of our funny times, we would sell them in my front yard through the newspaper. They had one of those things where you paid $1 a day, 3 days, and you got 3 lines, and they'd call you up, and I had to give directions as a kid. And on an Easter, when my dad was actually in the hospital, Rick and I had our bikes out for sale, and we had this lady come with her son, and she asked how much one of the bikes was, and she had him ride it. She put it aside. She had her son try another bike. Then he tried a third bike. We didn't know which one she wanted. She handed us a $100 bill and said, I'll take them all. And she didn't even haggle with the price. And we were looking at this $100 bill. We weren't even sure if it was real.
We weren't used to getting that kind of money back then.
No, we were.
I'm still not.
Yeah,
I still get excited over a $100 bill.
Absolutely. So, oh yeah, Chris is on here. Also, somebody's here. People may have come. All right, let me go through here real quick here. I fell in love with Mexico first as a kid collecting coins, but where I really fell in love was when Rutgers had a trip, and we went down to Mexico, and I was gifted one of these coins from the Olympics, which was really cool. Well, that was Rutgers break. I didn't know Spanish at the time. A couple friends went with me. Jay is still a close friend. He performed live from Japan at our festival this year. Well, that was a neat treat. You saw my tickets before. Chicago was my first concert where I paid for it and got to go on my own. But what was really cool about it was my next concert was Herbie Hancock and the Headhunters, and I was hooked on jazz after that. You guys know that I play drums, but do you know that I have also tried to play the bassoon or the recorder or the upright bass? However,
What about the trombone?
I didn't put the trombone in there. Oh my gosh.
I mean, that was
It
several
says-
years of that stuff we had to listen to.
How could I forget my
It's-
main
it's-
instrument? Thank
It
you.
says,
Chris.
it says trombone in 11. It's in there.
Oh, somewhere.
somebody just
Oh,
added
yeah,
it.
up above, right. You got me going there. One thing I did do in post-college days was I picked up the synthesizers and I recorded a CD with my then roommate, Glenn. And we did it over a couple weekends, and it's out of print, but somewhere I have a copy of it digitally, I'm sure, as well. Court Tavern.
Going back, hey, going back to your performing arts, of course, we were in a school play together once. Remember that? And
Yes.
we did Oliver in elementary school.
You know what? You want to go grab the book, the brown book right there?
Who is this? Who is this?
Who are you?
That was to play with you?
Rick's talking about when we were in school play where we were snowmen.
Snowman. No, I was
Oh, it's
talking
Ricky.
about.
Oh,
Okay.
Rick
Hi,
is
Rick.
talking about 1776.
I forgot that one. I was going back further to Oliver when you were Fagin.
Yes. All right. Here, I don't know if these are going to show up. Well, there's my mom's wagon with the box, and there is our bicycles that Rick and I built for 1776 parade. And there are some bikes on the back of the car. Oh my God. I can't believe I found it. There is the greenhouse that I built out of windows.
Oh.
Anyway, so yeah, Rick and I, we had a lot of our firsts together, being friends, and we got in our share of trouble, and all the good stuff, attended each other's weddings, and have kept in touch. He's my oldest friend that I'm in contact with, because we go back our families to nursery school.
What do you want?
Somebody else is there. Sue, hey. Sue has appeared, I see. All right, here's Court Tavern. Every Wednesday night I would go here and promote a band called Stretch. So that was a lot of fun. You guys know me from drumming, so you didn't know me when I was a DJ, but this was an important time because it brought me backstage to a lot of concerts. I got tickets to give away, got to meet and hang out with Chick Corea and Herbie Hancock and these guys back in the days. I mentioned Rick and I started our bike business. I was 13, he was 12, right?
Yep.
But I also sold ant traps. And I also sold Burpee seeds, or some brand of seeds, and Christmas cards like we did as kids. You go door to door.
And you made fortunes over there across the street at the ballpark.
You wanna talk about that, because you're
Our dad had us. He even had me out there. So we would make popcorn at home and butter it and salt. Put it in little bags and take it across the street to the ball games over there. And we would, he would sell sodas. We'd have sodas in a wagon, in a cooler in the wagon, and candy bars, frozen. We'd have them in the freezer and put them in there. They'd be cold. And he made so much money that he was able to, start his businesses from that. You definitely learn the value of, earning your own way.
The only thing I didn't do is I didn't follow. Mrs. Zinsmeister said I was going to be a millionaire by the time I was 25, but it's okay. We love it. We love it anyway. But yeah, our dad had a famous name, Roger Miller.
I have people believe in that. I mean, I have all the details and everything. You know,
People thought he was a country singer.
yeah, Roger Miller. That was my dad. And he had died already, you know. And I mean, I had my teachers believe in it and everything.
So pretty cool. My sister called me earlier today, and my brother Paul, who's out in California, sent me pictures of him with his dogs and stuff. Anyway, that was fun. Some crazy stuff going on. Now, Eddie, I see you're over there. You want to join us? And Sue, while she's waiting.
Hi.
Sue, you and I go back quite a few years. The
yeah.
early music side of drumming.
I remember sleeping with you at Starwood and not sleeping with you. Do you remember that?
You couldn't sleep at Starwood. There was no
and we were
sleeping.
both exhausted and just there was a cushion there and we just went and fell asleep.
So for those of you who don't know Starwood, it's back again. Obviously, things last year with coronavirus changed things, but it is a 5-day festival that the main feature is there's a huge fire pit for drumming and dancing. And at night, the fire is hot, super hot, but it goes until the sunrise. And there's still a few stragglers, and then it starts up again. People get up to watch the sunrise. More people start drumming. So it's in your ears from the moment you register at the front door, open your car window, we could hear it. And yeah, we were totally exhausted, and we almost went off the
8
road
hours,
on the way
right?
home.
It was an 8-hour trip to get there, so.
That was crazy.
And you forgot about the big fire on Saturday night, which was one of the biggest, like a 3-story tall bonfire.
Professionally built, yes.
It's about the size, and the dancing area was about the size of 2 football fields.
It was so large that you had no idea what it sounded like on the other side. If you went in and walked around, it was just the drumming was whatever was next to you and then next to them, and eventually it all kind of merged. That was crazy and loud.
And that it's not at Brushwood anymore, though.
Oh, they moved it, yeah.
Yeah, it's in Wisteria in Ohio now, and it's a little bit too far to go.
Well, yeah. Even, yeah, you really have to go and plan on having a day of relaxing before you drive home. Otherwise, you'll never. Oh.
You know what else I was thinking about you, Dave?
Yeah.
Your beautiful porcelain artwork in your backyard.
Oh, wow.
That was filled with flowers. You remember?
Yeah.
It was a toilet.
We made things work. I recycled everything, repurposed.
It was beautiful, though. I mean,
that's one way to beautify a toilet.
If I had a bathtub, I probably would have used it to collect water, right?
What about the white station wagon with the box on top?
Well, Rick was mentioning that, yeah.
That's got to bring back memories.
Well, Chris would remember this. As kids, don't do this at home, folks. Chris and I, right before we get to the drive-in movie, we'd go inside the box and then we'd drive through. So my parents paid less.
That's hysterical.
Oh, come on. You know, in those days, you didn't wear seatbelts. We drove with the gate down. Rick would remember that. We'd drive off the back of the gate. In fact, I took the seat out of that car, and Rick's mom said, he's not driving in that car. There's no seatbelts. And I came home one day, the car was gone. Mom had turned it into the junkyard.
Well, I remember
my radio.
Dave, I remember you driving that car. The steering was going out, and you used to go like this. Look, and you'd shake the steering wheel, and the car would just go straight. He would say, you know, and it was like
Pull it off.
have a car full of people doing that. Thought it was fun.
I was a daredevil.
Hey, Dave, we have to hit the road.
All right, Dave. It's good to see you, Cello.
Good to hear you all. Bye, Grace. Good seeing you.
Yeah, Dave, where do you guys live now?
We're in Bridgewater.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay. So and anyway, let's connect, but at least by Facebook or something. Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
You're still in Princeton?
Of course. Yes.
All right.
And follow me because I'm doing a podcast. But I would like to always connect with you guys. And where's your mom?
She's just talking to family right now. She's on Zoom with them.
Okay, please say hi for me.
We'll do that.
All right. Yeah, thank you. Good to see
Bye,
you.
everyone. Good to see you all.
Bye, Dave. Bye, Michelle. Thank you. Yeah, she cracked me up with that story, the blind leading the drunk blind, or blind drunk.
Oh, Dave, do you remember becoming a tree at the, yes, you,
That was to me, that was an incredible, everybody that felt that.
oh, that was beautiful.
You wanna
It was
explain it?
what the heck was the name of that show that Don used to put on?
It was either Fire in the Firehouse or it was
It was at the
Synthetic Pleasure.
Synthetic Pleasure, yes. And I forget who, it was the guy with the what was it? Like a clarinet, an electric clarinet or something that he was playing?
Stuart Diamond playing the electric oboe and clarinet, it looked like.
Yeah, yeah. And he was, and that was so cool. Cher, you really have to visualize this.
We were
dancing.
trees.
Yes, there were what, 3 or 4 of us there. Wendy was there. Was it Wendy? Who was with us? I don't
I
remember.
don't remember.
And we were dancing
Brian.
and like this, and we became the I think it was 3 or 4 of us or 5. We all became one tree, and we all were seeing the same thing too. That we all knew it was a tree that we made.
No substances involved, right?
That was beautiful. It was at the American Legion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was, Cheryl and I were very fortunate and surprised. First, my roommate, Bryce, moved in with Don and lives in East Stroudsburg, renting an apartment from him. So we went last year between our wedding and my birthday. We went, and Don was doing a live concert from his house, and then he ended up acknowledging our wedding and blessing us. It was pretty fun.
Yeah,
But it was good to see Don playing like he does. He really still gets wild and crazy. And then he's been here as well. We have a recording which I'll put in the invite so that people can find it. Don did a solo concert here. It was kind of sad because it was live on Facebook for people who could hear it, but we were the audience. So it was like a precursor of the COVID, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we're going to keep broadcasting. We have a fundraiser going on right now so that we're going to have better camera and stuff that we can go live and get better quality and edit it at home. Learning studio. I'm going to be learning StreamYard. I'm going to talk to Grace about the different platforms that I know she has her podcast on.
What happened that you are in jail?
Well, we're not sure. It happened right around the time between the election and the swearing in. We were posting a lot of political stuff.
Oh, yay. Hooray.
May have had something to do with that.
When you have 2 producers and you have 2 nonprofits and you have 2 people constantly out there and stuff and very politically active, we post a lot. So we get hit.
Yeah, Joyce, you miss all the posts, but I'll tell you,
I've been writing poetry, really stop fascism, and I've got some poets.
You want to read one for us?
They're on Instagram.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, you bypassed me. I don't do Instagram. You want to read us a poem?
Don't really have it with me right now. I can get it. You got a second?
Sure.
All right, I'll find
Sure,
something.
and we'll bring Lori in here. I see Lori has joined us.
Okay.
See if Lori wants to come on with camera and voice. Oh, this is good. I'm taking a moment just to breathe.
Hey, Eddie, you have something to say? Yeah, there's Lori.
Hey, Lori.
Hi, Lori.
Hello.
Good to see you. Where are you today?
I'm home right now.
Okay.
Like everybody.
Not doing, it's cold and wet out and I can't go anywhere and there's, a disease running around rampant. So,
Well, you're very fortunate that your practice room is in your house.
well, yeah, I have something. So, yeah, it's here.
I've noticed you're very good now. You've gotten great. Does that mean you're not breaking things anymore?
I'm not breaking anything so far. And so well, I don't have any cats anymore, but when I was having them, they weren't as frightened to be, they weren't as frightened to be in the room anymore. So anyway, happy birthday.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. So you stuck it outside as long as you could.
Yes. Yep.
You were out in December. We were drumming.
If it was 50 degrees, we could do it. If it's starting to drop into the 40s, boy, oh, it's rough.
Now, Chris, why don't you share what have you been doing? You've been working actively with homeless and the township and the landlords.
Well, that and the community, my neighbors, and we have a hall downstairs, which is really nice to have something so close to home where there's not people I'm going to come in contact with all the time. I have a key to the place, but we do meditation there, and it's like it's called Silo's Message. I think they have places all throughout the world. They have these halls anyway, so that's been a real good outlet for me. We plan different events. We used to do a potluck every month, but we do something with the kids. We like on Halloween we actually did a party outside at the park up the street for kids, and we did some finger painting and some stuff with them. It was socially distanced and outside, and we actually got all the parents were there, and we were outside in a big large circle separated with masks on, and we did a ceremony there. I mean, we usually do ceremonies of well-beings or different things, especially because there's always so many people now to ask for that need help in different ways, and we've sent such powerful assistance, I think. Anyway, that's part of it, and then I've also been totally involved with helping to change make some new laws and protecting the tenants in California. And I, spend time going to the Capitol. I haven't done that this year, but I have spent time, on Zoom this year with that. And we've done a couple caravans, which the last one just for Martin Luther King Day was over 100 cars. And
so you can do it
was
that
actually
way.
cut a little short because some guy in Alameda, when we went to Nancy O'Malley, who's the district attorney's house, and we wanted to, we were objecting about the fact that she didn't charge the police officer that was involved with back when the guy got shot at the BART train in California. Anyways, they're killing all our black youth and stuff. It's just crazy. But anyway, so this guy came out with a shotgun or something and said, "Get out, you guys, get out, get the fuck out of here," or whatever, and was threatening with a gun. And our rally was held by the anti-police terror group. That's who. And they had definitely security within that, so nothing happened, and we were able to end the caravan safely. But we're hoping that they can figure out who this guy is, and they need to charge his racist. Is just somebody coming with a gun. It's not legal in California to be carrying a gun. A gun, to have a gun like that, especially not threatening people.
And
But
for something that's protesting no violence,
yeah, it was
inciting
totally
violence.
nonviolent, organized, and yeah, we were making noise. We were honking our horns, but yeah, we stopped honking our horns and kind of dispersed. But I mean, we had been already throughout the neighborhood. We started. It was just, I can't believe how many cars were involved. It was like the people that last year before COVID, every Martin Luther King Day, we meet at 14th and Broadway, and we have, I mean, there's like hundreds and hundreds of people there, and it was like they all were here in their cars. It was like it was just really impressive how many people showed up for this event.
We are creative in our protesting, for sure.
I've also helped to elect our city council person and for my district a couple years ago, and now currently the tenant group that I'm with, which is called ACE, the Alliance of Californians for Community Empowerment, which is statewide. Our director of ACE, we've gotten her elected to city council also for West Oakland, which is really going to make a difference this year, having a couple of different city council persons we can work with. And we're trying to make housing as a human right, like basically a law, or a part of the what do you call it, the document for the United States, But we got a little work to do before that's going to come get over. But right now we just Gavin Newsom, our governor, just extended our moratorium on rent evictions.
Right. Nobody can get evicted. That's good.
For especially if they can't pay their rent because of COVID, they have to pay some of their rent. But we're finally actually starting to see some of the rent forgiveness, because we haven't seen any of that so far at all. People are just going to be indebted and are just looking at maybe in another month they'll have to be homeless or whatever. But they don't have to. They're finally starting to do some discuss some rent forgiveness, not just paying giving money to the landlords, but being able to forgive some of that debt.
That's
Where
good.
do you live?
I live in Oakland, California.
Oh, okay.
The center of out here, and and we've gotten our our vice president, she's from here.
Yeah, hopefully that'll continue. I mean, you've actually been there when there were people squatting in buildings and
we have people living on the street all over the city. It's insane. And they're not, I mean, so far as before now, they're not doing it. They're really not doing anything about it. I mean, they started since COVID, they started putting some of the people, just very, very small amount, into hotels that if they've been exposed to COVID or something, but that's only temporary. I have several friends that live in RVs. My boyfriend of many, many years, 2 years ago, was found in his RV deceased. And just this last 3 weeks ago, another friend of mine who lived right in his RV next to where my boyfriend used to stay, and I've been bringing him food, 3 times a week and stuff like that. He died. He died too, and in his RV. I mean, we're not exactly sure the cause of death, but he had health issues, and they towed his truck right before Christmas, which you don't tow some homeless person's truck. That's his only means of possibly any sort of income, that anyway, they've kind of put all the homeless are only allowed to be camped on the outskirts of town, which is a very, very small portion of Oakland now, which is really insane that they're just, but we're working on different things. We've taken over some houses from large corporations that are, leaving all their they're buying up properties, leaving them empty, and bringing up the price of rental properties, which is exactly what they've successfully been doing. And we've got the Moms for Housing, which has inspired new laws. That's what's helped Carol get elected to. They took over an empty house, and it was some moms that that were homeless, and they fixed up the house, and they were staying there, and they ended up dealing. I mean, a whole bunch of people, the public came and they supported them and were protected them, and they ended up coming with tanks and stuff and evicted them, you know, the sheriff put them out, whatever. But they came with tanks and all sorts of money they wasted on, you know, on a non-violent another situation. But you know, behind that, they've got the company. They were actually able to purchase that property for
Oh,
the
wow.
moms, the land trust. And they've gotten the Wedgwood company has agreed to sell any of their properties that they're going to sell that they have in Oakland. They will give first right to sale to you know, the affordable housing or whatever, the land trust, you know, they'll offer them first before they put it on sale somewhere else.
Oh, that's
And
great.
yeah, and we're working on a TOPA law, which is the right to purchase, like, so a renter can purchase their you know, has the first offer to, or, you know, opportunity to purchase their own property that they're staying in when their landlord
Correctly,
refuses to
okay.
sell, which we're getting a ways through with that. We're working on it. You know, COVID slowed it down some, but yeah, it's like it's been being written up.
Well, you're doing the right thing. I'm glad to hear. I like when you send me newspaper clipping or a video. It's always
Yeah, I
nice.
have to send you more. I don't send you near as much as I have going on here and there.
Chris and I come from a family of advocacy because when we were young, she mentioned town council. In a different vein, the board of education, when they would have their elections, there was one year that 3 people were trying to run that belonged to the John Birch Society.
Boy, that one.
And they were trying to
When they made
infiltrate the
their
school
song?
system. They wanted prayer in the school. They wanted all these things. And that led to a lot of us having, then there was a strike, right? We had the strike at the Board of Education. We were
I
going,
remembered the song that the parents all made up, you know, and sang, which was to the tune of I once was a poor man, you know, fiddler on the roof, or
Fiddler on
whatever.
the Roof.
It was about the John Birch Society or something.
If we were a rich school, la di da di da di da di da di da.
But
Yeah.
you remember it at all?
Well, it was if we were a rich town, we'd have one school in every town. We'd have, you know, it was all the
Rick's
things
mom
we
was
would
one of the
have.
major, you know, guitar player. You know, she was probably the one who wrote half the words.
I never heard that. That's fun.
Yeah,
It's really
they made, now of course they have a new spoof, sedition.
What about the neighbors? The neighbors made this song about you, Dave. Billy McCallum, he used to practice his trumpet, and he was out there and he was making, David Miller was a bullfrog. Never understood a word he said.
I don't,
Yeah.
I
It
don't
was either
remember
Jimmy or Billy.
the strike song, but
Yeah. What was that
I
one?
remember a lot about that winter and the strike, but I don't remember the song.
Oh.
Oh,
Although
my mother probably had something to do with it, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's what she definitely did.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, that's another thing that we're doing just currently. There's the corner I live on. There's accidents happen here, like at least 3 a month, probably. It could even be more than that. I mean, the store across the street is making out like bandits because of COVID. Because now the regular grocery store closes at 10 o'clock instead of 12 o'clock. So everybody goes to the corner store and pays twice as much for their stuff and buys a bunch of liquor and whatever. You know, it's just crazy because they're making out, you know, they're definitely not losing out on money through this situation, but the intersection gets a lot more, it's busier and people keep running this light or something, but there is just bad accidents all the time. So we've been petitioning the city. We got the people from the hall and me, this is not the ACE renter people, but you know, we're not really all activists at the hall, but we're all humanists, I would say. And we've actually gotten some foreground. We've gotten something done about it because we've gotten a response from the city. Which personally, most people say you gotten a response from the city. Actually, well, yeah, I know Nikki Fortunato, but I mean, you know, when I text them a picture of a car that's totally torn up in the middle of the intersection and stuff, you know, they respond, but they tell me to write the city, you know, the Oak Dot or whatever, and tell them about it. And then they follow through, and there's no money in the budget to do anything about this light, and it's not the most dangerous. There's other intersections they said that have priority, but we wouldn't accept that. So my friend Michael, he posted something on Facebook. We posted something on Nextdoor. We shared something on something, and we talked to our neighbors. We've done everything. We're about to go door to door and get a petition, you know, some sort of letter signed just to give them more proof that it's definitely needed. Well, and just the other day, a bus was in the accident. You know, if they don't value a bus, you know, and all the people that could be on it, you know, that's in an accident, that's going to actually give some weight too.
Crazy.
But we just want at least the light to not change at the same time green is red, which is what it does. And that makes it totally, you know, dangerous. When the light switches at the same time, the car goes and the car's not even stopped yet.
Yeah.
So, and that doesn't cost any money. So when they complain about the budget, we said, hey, you know, this is something, it doesn't cost any money to do. You guys need to at least do this. And I got an email back from
Just reprogram the light. I got you.
yeah, the city council person, 12:30 Saturday night or whatever, she wrote me back and said something about, yeah, that they can do something, you know, they will definitely get on it about that. And they will do, you know, respond to that what they can, because there's no reason why they can't do that. So we're just, you know, seeing what our next few steps are. And if they don't move fast enough or move at all, we will be back on them.
Very good.
But, yeah, because we don't want anybody, you know, to get hurt. I mean, a pedestrian is going to get hit one of these times right here. I mean, I have new pictures on my phone several times a month, you know, and it's like, and these are only the accidents I know about. You know, I hear this big loud boom, you know. And,
Another bus.
you know, I'm the one who calls 911 most of the time.
Crazy. So Rick was talking about records. I pulled this up here.
What's that?
All right.
Picture.
So we were just setting up the sanctuary at that time. So all these other bottoms are all filled in now, all the boxes. I think I have one more box to do, but I have to fit it in there.
Meaning
So-
Dave was moving in. That
Oh, that was that. Yeah, that meant I was officially moving in. But I have to say, I have to share something. I've had a lot of dreams and projects over my years, and I never always felt that it was being supported. I mean, when I owned my own house, yeah, I had some cobalt blue up, and it kind of looked the way it did, but it really wasn't there yet. And I have never had all my albums out, alphabetized, categorized together until I met her. So thank you.
An organized woman, huh?
And
That's
being
awesome.
able to
That's
have
awesome.
all the cobalt blue, and she accepted who I am, you know, the physical parts of it. Oh, me too, but
The question is, how do you alphabetize your records, or do you do it by genre and then alphabetize within
Oh,
the genre,
right.
and then do you alphabetize by first name, last name, or you know, do you include thes and a's and group names and
All of the
So-
above.
well, he brings up a good point, because the years that I was a DJ, we had a system for the flow. But he's right, like Santana is a last name, but it's the name of the band. So where do you put it? It's under SA, you know. But if Carlos Santana had a solo album, then it would be under Santana, comma, Carlos, and it would come after the band. But Rick, the harder one is, what if it's both rock and jazz, or what if it's both? There are so many things that cross over.
crossovers are tough, man. I have
That's
a
why
hard
it's
time
easier to do
sometimes.
it computerized, because you can have it in both groups.
Yeah, but he's talking about where does it physically go in the
Yeah, I
rack.
I know.
Right, when you want to find that record, you have to know.
It's true. It's true. Well, let's put it this way. I don't have too much classical. That's an easy pile. Jazz to me,
What about Emerson, Lake and Palmer and all that classical, classical rock?
she's got me. It goes under rock, although I have Emerson, Lake and Palmer doing the same classical that Tomita is doing.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Tomita.
Yeah.
Tomita's clearly new age, so yeah.
Yeah.
And reggae, I have a separate collection, but it's all right. I find it. I'm actually due to get a new stylus for my turntable. I want to get it all. We just bought a mixer. We have a 8-track mixing board. I just started hooking up my keyboards again. So sometime this month, I'm going to start recording. But be able to get it go through the stereo and then, hear it on all the speakers and everything. Pretty cool. So even though it's coronavirus, we're still working inside, trying to get, production stuff ready. I think we mentioned that we're going to do the Touch Mother Earth this year. So we've gone ahead, we've locked in September 17, 18, 19. So Rick, you want to fly up for the weekend,
Flying is not one of the safest
No, it's not.
thing to do. I mean, but people are doing it, but I'm just saying it's not one of the best things to do.
What was the
during
dates you
COVID.
said, Dave?
September 17, 18, 19. That could be cool.
Maybe you'll get the vaccine by then.
Well, that's another reason we may go to Florida sooner than later is where her condo is. Everybody's been vaccinated. So
Yeah, there's
we know
more,
that
yeah.
she would qualify by age, but I might not yet. Getting close. I don't know, maybe.
Yes, they're giving them 55.
Okay, that's cool.
In
But you
Florida.
also have allergies, Dave, don't you? And asthma and allergies that helps you along with your age. You can use that card if
True.
Yeah,
Get
I
that
don't know
badge.
if they count that in Florida though. I don't. They don't in New Jersey
Yeah.
because
I'll
I know
figure it
people
out.
who have bad asthma because of allergies.
Hey, we here in Florida, we don't want you, vaccine tourists coming down here stealing all our vaccine.
You got me on that one. I'll come home, I'll go down, I'll quarantine for 2 weeks, I'll come out, get a vaccine and go back in for 6 more. I'll see my shadow.
They have it all over the place. My son said if I can come up to Vermont to get me vaccinated right away. I said it's a big trip.
Well, it's really, really hurting
signed up
me.
yet.
Yeah, because I haven't seen my best friend she lives all the way in Stockton. So, and I used to bring her grandson over to see her like at least once a month. And, I haven't seen her grandson in a year now. And I mean, he lives in Oakland. But, I've been over there one time, but right after I took a COVID test, I went, because she has her dad living with them and her husband. And if either of them got COVID, they would be dead.
Oh, yeah.
So, they can't risk it at all.
I got my son. I have to sign off though. I have to go make dinner. So
Yeah.
it was lovely being here, and I'll send you some of the poems, okay?
Oh, that'd be great. Sure.
All right. I have your email. Okay. Good night and happy birthday again. It was just wonderful touching base with you.
Always good to catch up.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Do you want me to share the funny story of that I remember of when you had a party or something like that in New Brunswick and all your friends were there and you weren't there yet, and I think all your friends were saying, "Oh, I can smoke a cigarette. Dave won't know about it, because he's not here."
Oh my
And
gosh.
I think I said something about, oh no, or Rick said something about, oh no. Anyways, as soon as you came in the door, I was like, "Who's smoking in my house?" You started going, or something like that.
Yeah, that wasn't gonna work.
I'm gonna say goodbye also, okay? Because I
All
have
right.
to study. But nice meeting everyone, and have fun.
Thank you for memories.
Many more years. Happy birthday and happy love stories.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I have a lot of people who are interested in you, Dave. People that are, I have a lot of Spanish speaking friends like, and especially through the hall. A lot of, I mean, CeeLo is from Argentina originally, and so is my friend Michael and several people. They're totally speak Spanish and English. One of my Spanish speaking friends that's learning English right now. He's taking classes in English right now. We try to get him to read a ceremony in English every once in a while. He's like, well, wait until after I have my class. But he's done it
Sure.
for us. He's just, not real sure of himself yet. But he also knows Japanese and German.
Oh, wow.
So that's really cool.
At least the German would have some similar structure. The Japanese, wow.
Yeah, none.
But yeah,
that's
people,
impressive.
I have been really happy teaching. You see, this is my classroom behind me right now. I have a whiteboard over here if I need it. On Zoom, we have whiteboard. I've been taking all my collection of documents, including some of my writings, and formatting them for school. And I'm teaching 7 classes at present.
Yeah, I need to learn some more Spanish. I really do, and I haven't found the right outlook for it. But I definitely.
You know
need
what?
to.
Somebody would want you to be bilingual as an advocate. They probably
Oh,
would train
definitely.
you
That's
or
why I
pay
need
you.
it. I mean, in California, half of everything is in Spanish. I mean, all our meetings at ACE are in Spanish and English both. And it would help if I would understand some of what they're saying when they're speaking Spanish.
Well, if you're hearing it in both, eventually the words cross over.
Well, everything in the text, no, I don't. But everything in the text, when somebody writes it in Spanish, that doesn't ever get translated. So they don't really necessarily know what we wrote in English. They might if they're working on learning it. But I mean, that never gets translated for us,
Okay.
like when people are speaking. So that's really, we miss out on everything that somebody wrote in the chat text on a Zoom.
So I'm going to share a Rick and Dave story. So Rick and I, not only do we enjoy making bicycles, building and repairing, but we like riding. And Rick's parents regularly stayed up in Cape Cod in, I believe, Hyannis. And we decided Wellfleet, okay. And we decided we were gonna ride our bikes there. Well, I was 16 and he was 14, and they were still a little nervous about getting through New York City. So they agreed to start us in Connecticut, dropped us off. I forget the city, something started with a D or something. Danbury, all right. And off we rode with, a map and our backpacks and our little camping related stuff. And one of the nights I think that same day we had been drenched. I seem to remember, there was one time where it just poured and most of it we were going downhill and we just got wet. And we got to, at some point we were at the top of a mountain. We were tired. We were starting to go down. We found a little store and we didn't know we were going to camp. We were following a river that was, the road would go under the road, over the road, whatever. And we decided we were just going to camp out on our own. That was a lot of fun. Maybe the next day, one of the days, we didn't find anything. We decided we were just going to camp at a park in the center of town. And we made a fire and we were going to cook. We were going to cook on our fire, and a ranger, or I guess it was a ranger, whatever they would have for a little park.
Or a cop.
Yeah. He came up and he said, boys, you can't have a fire, but I was a Boy Scout once and I'm sure the coals are still hot and you can keep cooking if you put so we put our potatoes, we had, I think, potatoes and aluminum foil or something on the coals.
I recall the dinner not being very good.
Yeah, I don't think it was completely cooked.
I think Ricky has out bicycled both of us all together easily. But I do remember the day you sent me off to go to ride my bicycle to where regionals state champion for roller skating was going to be in Ellesmere, Delaware, and I rode my bicycle with my back with my clothes and my roller skates all on the back of the bike, which weighed like tons because of that. And down Route 1, headed towards there. And after I went across this big bridge, and then it got to the toll booth, they said, "Oh, you can't. How'd you get across this? This bridge? You're not allowed on this interstate or on this road here." And they told me, they go, "Here, go down these stairs here." And they sent me down like 3 flights of stairs straight down these brick steps with my bicycle. I had to carry down
And the roller skate.
through the other Route 1.
Oh, wow. Well, Chris,
I rode all the way there, no problem. When I got all the way to Delaware, I had to cross the bridge again, and I hitchhiked from the bridge, until I got a pickup truck that picked me up with a bicycle across the bridge into Delaware, and then and I just had a little further to go from there, and I stayed in some hotel there for a couple of days.
Hey, when I did that ride in California, remember that, Chris? When I came out there on the bicycle, and same thing. I was trying to cross the Bay Bridge, or not the Bay Bridge. Yeah. I guess I was coming from Sonoma County across to where near Oakland. Is that the Bay Bridge?
Yes, from San Francisco and Oakland.
Yeah.
You guys spent a lot of time on
it was
bikes.
the other one. It was like from Sonoma County coming into.
It was the
I forget the name of the bridge,
Golden
but
Gate
anyway,
Bridge. The Golden Gate.
the
Bridge.
same. No, well, the Golden Gate you can actually ride over, but the one that I tried to get over, you couldn't. They wouldn't let me ride over. The guy comes in his like tow truck and says, "Just throw your bike
Bay Bridge,
on."
I don't think you did.
He
didn't
drove
used
me
to be able to
across.
ride across there.
Maybe it was the Bay Bridge. I don't remember. That was That was like 1983 or something.
They're starting to get a bicycle path everywhere. I mean, it's like all of our streets downtown and everything. They've changed like where the cars park in the middle of the street, and the bicycles have their own lane. It's just insane because it's almost impossible to maneuver. When you're at an intersection and you want to turn, you're like so far away from the intersection. It's just crazy, but it's for the bicycle. They're redoing everything so that bicyclists can ride better. It's not really that much safer because now you can have 2 doors open up to stop the bicyclists or whatever.
Oh, between the parked cars and the
Depends on
drivers.
where they're riding, yeah. But yeah.
What year did you move to California, Chris? Because it was.
I've been out here since 82 or 83.
Yeah, that was around when that was. Yeah, well, you hadn't been there long.
Came out here and put a bicycle together for me.
Did I? I don't remember.
You shipped me a bicycle, a brand new Fuji bike, and then you put it together for me.
Okay, Dave. I'm going to say goodbye.
Good to see you, Isabel.
I want to play you a little touch of my drumming from Cartagena, Colombia.
Oh, go ahead.
Just for your birthday, and then I'll see you in Feliz Cumpleaños, and I'll end it with a.
All right.
Dave, I have to go feed my man.
He's a very old pulenquera from the coast of Cartagena, so they do a lot of some drumming, and palenque, and all that. So
Nice.
I'll share a little bit for your birthday. Okay. So see you.
Birthday music. Thank you.
Makes you want to move.
I have to go feed John.
All right, Sue.
Oh, yes.
It was good seeing
Good
you
to
and
see you.
reminiscing. And stay on those bicycles.
All right. Hey, Maria.
Hi.
Maria's not.
Hi, people. Hi, everyone. Hi,
Hey.
teacher. Hi, Charo. Nice to see you. Nice to see you, Charo. How are you?
Ah, very good.
How are you?
You
Very
know,
well.
it's funny because we started. It was going to be like a regular class. I had my 2 students that you met, one class, and they were listening and practicing their English, but I think we overwhelmed them. It was too much.
Oh, Okay,
They got to
okay.
hear all the stories.
Everybody speak English in this class or learning English?
Well, today we're only doing English, although Isabel is from Colombia,
Okay.
and Luz popped in for a little bit, for a few minutes, but mostly English. Yeah,
You've got them all
Okay.
speaking English clearly.
that's my sister.
Hi, nice to meet you, Christine.
So we are reminiscing. Do you know what that word means? Reminisce?
No.
Remember.
Remembering, usually with interest, like fond memory.
Okay, okay. Christine, and do you speak Spanish or only English?
I can count in Spanish. I learned that when I was in first grade, I think. And I know La Casa, La Ventura, or whatever.
That's it.
But that's about it. You know, I need to. I've known that since I was in first grade, but I mean, that's about as far as I go. I started learning little Spanish a few years ago. I had a friend who didn't know any English, and I didn't know any Spanish, and so we decided we were going to work together and learn the language. And some people were helping me to start picking that up, and then all of a sudden I found out my friend they found him dead somewhere in Oakland, and
Oh.
he no longer was around. So I
Okay,
kind of
okay.
stopped that mission right then. But I'm still interested in learning more Spanish. I took German in school, which was a
Mi
big mistake.
español es muy malo.
Reed don't speak español too.
Sí, me es una tripulantes de velo para poquito español para velo.
Okay, okay, I got it.
Bebida, baño,
That's it, a little bit. The just alternative that
poquito.
I have is speak in English. My English is a little bit. Sometimes I speak a lot, and sometimes I please repeat. I don't understand. I don't know what happened with my English. Sometimes I feel ready to go out, meet with the American people, speak English, and then I'm shy. I don't know.
Cycle.
She's a liar. It's all mental. Her English is good, and she is willing to try. That's the important part.
I don't know, teacher.
Yeah, I like seeing with a lot of the tenants rights activists, all the people I work with, a lot of them that are Spanish speaking only, I'm watching them mature. And like one girl who only spoke Spanish is now actually working with some of like our city council persons, and
Wow.
doing a lot more than they ever believed that they could do. And they can't ever vote, but they're really making a big difference in our communities.
They can still be active, sure.
And their English is getting so much better. I mean, the one her son always translates for her. But she came to my birthday party, and he did. I love him. He's great. But and it's really, she doesn't have him around all the time translating for her. She's learning English pretty. It takes a little while.
Give her my phone number.
And immersion, once you know some basics, then immersing in the language
Yes.
is the easiest way to get proficient at it.
Yeah, when people have everything translated, when they're communicating, it's easier to not learn it, which it's real important to try to learn it too.
Well,
not just to be translated.
We've been watching the different programs, 90 Day Fiance or 90 Day the Other Way. And often it's an American who is going to marry somebody from another country. And usually they don't know the other language. And it's hysterical to see them using these translate apps. And they'll say like, I need you to help me make the cake for the birthday. And then it translates it to Korean, and it will say, I need you to bring the laundry to bake it.
Yeah, yeah, I know, because I have signs. I have signs translated to my neighbors who are from Yemen. And it's really weird because I wanted to write the sign that says, please keep the door closed, you know, and it's cold outside. And then we had to try to use this some other bait like don't let the raccoons in, you know, because it's
Right,
keep
right.
the door closed. And the translation didn't. I found out that on the sign it doesn't translate at all properly.
The difference is that the Spanish is so romantic. For example, in love, or when do you want to speak about love, like somebody, in Spanish you say a beautiful words. In English, it is what it is. I like you. That's it. That's it. I love you. That's it. But in Spanish, I like you is tu me gustas. When you are with when you have a relationship with someone, but there is no hard relationship, you say te quiero. No, I love you. But in English, it's I love you, I like you. That's it.
Right.
It's very, very, very simple. But in Spanish, you say a lot of words, you use polite words, you try to be honey, but in English, the other day, I'm single, and I want to be a boyfriend, and I subscribe in dating site. But I didn't know that when you say hello, honey, the guy is thinking that you want get married now. No, for me, honey is just honey. It's not hello because I'm sweet. I'm
Right.
thinking right. But the other day I was reading about the code, the códigos or code about language in the dating site. For example, if you say honey or sweetheart, it's because you want a boyfriend. And the many guys only want 1 day and sex. That's it.
Yeah.
It's difficult. It's so difficult for translate and the really means. I don't know if you I understand me.
If we understand you, yeah. No, you definitely.
So,
Well, you know,
in Spanish, when they tell me mi amor, they don't want to marry me.
No, when you say mi amor, it is sweet. It is simple. All people say. In fact, you go on the chat and you say, mi amor, give me a breath. Mi amor, give me a coat. It's not so important.
You know what we say? We say, madam.
Sorry?
We say, hey, madam, give me a coffee.
Yes.
Ma'am. Hey, ma'am.
Hey, ma'am.
I learned this on the airplane. They call me mi amor all the time.
Yeah, mi amor is normal.
Now,
Spanish is more expressive.
You need to listen to more songs like the Beatles when they sing, I want you so bad, babe.
But when you say I want you, is that you want sex.
That's
It's quickly.
The arrow goes right.
Yeah,
to the
go
back.
ahead.
No, that's true. And the same thing in French. Je t'aime could mean I love you like a friend. It doesn't mean I love you romantic.
Yes.
How do you say that?
Sorry?
Je t'aime.
Je t'aime.
It's Rick took French, so JE apostrophe space TEMP, I think. Something like that.
Yeah. At this point, my Spanish is better than my French. And neither are good.
Okay, honey.
Okay, honey.
Hey, Eddie, can you hear?
Eddie's listening, but
Yes, I hear you.
All right.
Oh, there we
You
go.
have
For
a
some
story?
reason, for some reason, I'm not coming up with the picture. So
See if it says start video.
see if it says what?
Start video. I just pushed a button. See if you see that now.
Yep, I just
There we
pushed
go.
it. Oh, there we go.
Hey, we finally
Okay.
get to see you.
Hello, hello.
All right. So I get to
Hello,
ask
hello.
you a question, Eddie.
Yeah.
before Cheryl and I were actually an item, did she say anything about me? Did she, like, how did you first know that I was in her life?
Cheryl and I have been friends since '92, and even before that. I'm not divulging our conversations, and I'm just that's why I said to her the day of the wedding, "Are you sure you want to do this?" Hey, I got my girls back.
Yeah. That's what I said to my best friend when I introduced her to her husband. I introduced her to her husband, and I warned her about him. I didn't warn her anything specific. I just warned her. She said, "Warned me what?" And I've been just warning you. And it's been an issue ever since. Like, it was like, well, what are you warning her about? Like, no, I'm just, I introduced them, but I just wanted to give her fair warning. And they've been together ever since, and they have made both each other. They're much better people.
Yeah, no, you two are, I'm amazed at how well you guys get along, and you're always making each other laugh,
Oh,
which is to me nice.
If we had a camera by our bathroom mirror that went on when we went to bed at 4 a.m, because we're laughing, we're worried that we're waking people up, we're cracking up right before we're brushing our teeth, and we're laughing.
It's just one party from like the minute we wake up, well, through with it doesn't really matter. We literally are living a party.
Good.
Well,
That's good,
about
but
time
I
there
don't.
wasn't somebody complaining about everything all the time, huh, Dave?
That is good, but I don't know if anybody wants to see the mirror by your bathroom. But it is good that you're happy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we were very fortunate that during the quarantine, we had already been together 24/7, from the moment I moved in.
Right.
And so, what was really strange was, for me, I had not been in her condo in Florida. So just learning the new space, the new temperature, being able to go outside and see it's tropical, that was really different. And that's right when the quarantine hit.
Mm.
So
but it was like there was a wind behind us. Like the minute we started dating, Spirit was moving us. And I think Spirit was moving us to be together 24/7, so that when we were quarantined, we went, who cares? We're having fun. We're on a 4-month honeymoon.
And you had somebody to be with.
Yeah. And we literally think Spirit basically pushed us together so that we would be okay during quarantine and we would get through it. And everything was there because we got married, remember, December 14th or 15th?
December 14th.
15th.
Oh my God.
No, it was a test on him, if you remember. We got married December 15th, right before COVID hit.
Yeah.
So the push for that December, and Eddie kept going, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure you don't want to do this? She's been with me through hell relationships rather than great relationships also. So she's my gal is checking me out, making sure I was going to be okay here. But Spirit moved us so strongly to do that during that time. And we truly believe it was because they knew what we would have had to go through and we had to be okay through it. And we literally produced the Earth Day Festival, which was a 5-day festival from Florida, which was our first production together. And we were living in a 900 square foot apartment in Florida. So our workspace was 100 feet apart. And to do that when you're a newlywed, okay, and to get that through was just amazing to us. But we learned so much about ourselves and our coupleness because of that intense period and what we had
You're
to do.
definitely soulmates.
Well,
Oh,
the other,
yeah.
thank you. The
Yeah.
other thing was in Florida, it was just the two of us. So our rotation of cooking and the responsibilities shifted a little from what it is here. So that also helped us get closer. We synced our routine. We always know what to pick up the slack for. If you know, if it's the dishes or the laundry, it gets done. We don't let things, you know, get chaos here. No, chaotic.
Yeah, right. Except
Well, I
for
mean, listen, I think
Except for all those boxes we're still trying to go through from the before the wedding when we cleaned up.
heck, I think your sister found her soulmate too.
we're still trying to unpack the garage.
I mean, it's amazing how well she and Ben get along.
Yeah, yeah. And
I mean, I thought I gave him about a month when I left New Jersey after her wedding. I gave him about a month before he was gonna, you know, he was through with this shit. You know,
now
it
it's
was
6 years.
she was just abusing him totally. But you know, he's like flexible. I mean, you know, he's the perfect. It didn't bother him at all. I mean, it was just really they're great together.
He has
They're
learned to
definitely
speak up for himself since. But yes, I agree that he's very tolerant of her need of the way she is to him. Well, guys, we have dinner coming up. We're gonna do some Thai food, and I want to thank you all. I really do.
You don't share your food on Zoom? I always offer to share whatever it is I'm having. I mean, I'm real generous with, you know, what I'm eating.
Zoom food.
Yeah.
It's good to
Some
see
people like
you
it, some
all.
people don't.
Yeah.
Eddie, you can come by for a piece of cake tomorrow. I baked a cake tonight, his birthday cake.
There you go.
Yeah, what time?
After we wake up, after 1 o'clock. You know we're not awake in the morning, so
Yeah.
Text me.
I have class from 2:30 to 4:30, 5:30. That's the
So
only
in
thing.
between that, 4:30 to 5:30.
After work, yeah.
Okay, I'll call you.
Okay.
All right, guys,
Rodney.
everybody, thank you so much.
Happy birthday.
Bye.
Bye. Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Happy
Good to see you all.
Take care.